Hello there, Sagittarius. Thank you for stopping by for your weekly tarot video report for the week of October 19th through the 25th. On Monday, the first card you have coming up is the Judgment card. This just means that things are going fairly for you. So if you have some kind of something coming up in court, or if you have something going on where someone is judging you in family or at home, you can expect that things the outcome will be fair. So if you have been operating above board and doing the things you knew you were supposed to do, your outcome will reflect that. It will be in your favor. If you've been operating below board and trying to get away with things, the outcome will reflect that. It won't be in your favor. So justice really does just mean, or judgment just really does mean that justice will be served. Whichever way it needs to go to be served, that's what's going to happen. So that's what I see coming in for you Monday. Now, this can be talking about a court situation, a work situation, a family situation. This can also be talking about getting pulled over by the nice police officer because you have a tail light out, or because you were going 130 in a 20-mile-an-hour zone. You know, this can be any kind of interaction between yourself and anything to do with law enforcement or government, or anything to do with justice and making sure that things are fair at any level. It does not have to be at court or at work, you know, going before a union board or any other situation like that. Okay, so Tuesday, Sagittarius. You have the Four of Clubs coming up in reverse. This is a leaving the nest card. That's my key word. Whenever I see this card, that's what I think about, is leaving the nest. It feels celebratory to me. So you may be the one leaving the nest, or you may have children that are leaving the nest. They're moving out. Now this can also be, you know what, I'm not even going to say that because this doesn't feel like that. Well, you know what, it could. I have this total celebratory feel with this. It's not like a huge celebration like you've invited over 250 of your closest friends, but definitely there's this happiness feeling. And for some of you, this is going to be about a temporary separation. And I feel like some of you are going to be happy about that separation. Like, thank God I get a break from that other person. So anyway, a card all about leaving the nest showing up for us, or showing up for you on Tuesday, Sagittarius. Now let's see. Wednesday, you have the Ace of Coins in reverse, and the Ace of Coins just tells me that you are giving a gift on Wednesday. So when you're giving a gift, please do not confuse that with paying somebody what they're due. This is not anything that they're due. If you give your kids their allowance on Wednesday, you cannot call that you giving a gift. Hopefully they've earned that allowance. Okay, so this is giving a gift out of the kindness of your heart to someone who has done absolutely nothing to deserve that gift. All right, so that's Wednesday, Sagittarius. And on Thursday, you have the Strength card coming up. This is one of my favorite cards. I love this card because it really talks about self-acceptance, and that's the beginning of our own strength. That's the beginning of developing our self-esteem. So self-acceptance really talks about accepting the shadow parts of ourselves and accepting the light parts of ourselves, and understanding that we have both and that both are an integrated part of us. Some people have a hard time accepting the shadow side of themselves. Other people have a hard time accepting the light side of themselves. Either way, when you start to accept both of those, you start to see yourself as this full person. You start to understand your weaknesses and your strengths, and it helps you to move forward in a more productive way than before you could accept who you really were. Because before you were accepting who you really were, you were making decisions about what kind of actions you wanted to take and what kind of people you wanted to hang out with without taking into account your strengths or your weaknesses. And that can only lead to, well, you could get lucky and it might not lead to trouble, but eventually it's not going to lead anywhere good. So the Strength card is an amazingly wonderful card. I love it, I love it, I love it. Just means you're learning to accept yourself on Thursday, Sagittarius. Friday, Five of Swords showing up. Five of Swords just tells me that you're engaged in some kind of competition on Friday. This could be an official competition, or it could be something completely unofficial, but it is a healthy competition. So this is a competition that it's absolutely fine to be involved in, because what happens in a healthy competition is that at the end of it, you find that you are better at something that you wouldn't have been better at without this competition. So it's a good card actually coming up when we see the Five of Swords. Now, and that's not normally how I would translate that card. Isn't that interesting? All right, so Saturday, what we have showing up is we have the Moon. The Moon card. Okay, Sagittarius. I love the Moon. I think the Moon is beautiful when I stand outside and look at it. When I get the Moon card, I just kind of roll my eyes. It's like, oh, that again. Okay, so the Moon card is just saying that there's some situation in your life on Saturday that you can't see the full picture for whatever reason. And I do feel like for a lot of you Sagittarius, the reason you can't see the full picture is because somebody else really doesn't want you to. And so they're not sharing full information. So that's something that you want to be aware of, especially on Saturday. But I will tell you, a lot of people tell me that these days come in 1 or 2 days off for them. So I probably should, instead of saying for this day, I should be saying, okay, here are 7 energies for this week. But what you want to be aware of is if you have a situation that pops into your life where you have some information, but that information doesn't all add up really perfectly, then with that type of information, you know that there's really more going on there than what you're being told. So pay attention to that. Don't let yourself just sweep any red flags under the rug. I'm not saying necessarily confront the other person or the person who's giving you this partial information either. The smartest thing to do in this type of situation is just sit back and wait, not make any kind of commitments into this situation, and just wait and see what kind of pops up to the surface. Because sooner or later, the truth has a way of popping up to the surface, whether we force it to or whether we don't. Sometimes it takes longer if we try to force it to. So just sit back, wait, see what happens with the situation before you make any commitments to it or to putting any time towards it. Wait and see what comes up first, because there's definitely more going on there than what you're being let see. Now Sunday, what we have coming up is we have the Sun card. And the Sun card is a fabulous card. This is one of my favorite cards to get for the day. It just means that you're doing what you want to do on Sunday. You're doing it your way, and nobody is interfering with you. I love these days. The last time this came up in my Scorpio video, I ended up going out and hiking and coming home and cooking, making some of my favorite dishes, and I just had a fabulous time, and I just took the day off, and it was absolutely wonderful. So when I see the Sun come up, that tells me you're going to have an absolutely wonderful day doing the things that you love to do and feeling good about them. So awesome. And you're the second sign this week that got the Sun card on a Sunday. I don't remember the other sign, but isn't that interesting? Woohoo! So Sagittarius, that is your week. For those of you who would like to well, I'm not going to tell you about that. Y'all can read how to get a reading with me. I am going to tell you all, thank you so much for all the support you've given me. Everyone who has scheduled a reading with me, everyone who has been watching my dailies so faithfully, thank you. Everyone who has liked, shared, subscribed to my channel, thank you all so much. I do appreciate all of your support. Everyone have a fantastic week. I'll see you back here next time around. Peace out.